Hi, Jason. Hi, Matt. My favorite female Star Wars character is Rey. She's super strong, interesting, adventurous, and she's has to have a great story. And I'm really interested to see how her and Kylo Ren's their stories had to be kind of similar, at least in the sense abandoned, because if she never knew who her parents were, obviously they have that in common. So it'll be interesting to see how she influences Kylo. Anyway, Rey's my favorite.
Rey from Episode 7, Force Awakens.
Rey is one of the coolest characters ever. Like, for all womendom. There's so many moments in that movie where I was like, this is just so great for not only Star Wars, but for girls. Like when Finn keeps grabbing her hand when they're running, and she's like,
let go of my hand.
What are you doing? I can run by myself.
Yeah.
I got this.
It's just such an awesome moment. And
it's probably for Finn's sake. He needs to hold someone's hand. That's
yeah,
probably
she needs, right?
Yeah, because he's completely lost.
He's and scared. He's the double whammy. He is terrified, and he has no idea. He's never ever interacted with anybody besides Captain Phasma as a woman as well. He has no clue.
Just him.
That's like the old classic thing. Like, I need to help you across the street, and she's like, "Get your hand off of me! I know how to cross the street myself. I should help you across the street." And even when he gets blown up on the ground, he gets up. Are you all right? And she's like, "Yeah." And then they keep running.
I'm sorry, she is arguably the best pilot we've seen in Star Wars, period.
Well,
she had a rough start.
She's instinctive
but it only took
because she has
minute.
the Force.
Yeah, you can tell, like, her and Anakin, those are the two who are the best at flying. And maybe those are the two closest that I can see, because we only really got to see Anakin fly. Luke didn't fly that much. I mean, what did he do? He crashed in Hoth, and he got lucky in A New Hope.
Exactly.
Because Han saved him. Basically, that's it. Rey kicking some tail, and then you saw Anakin doing some good stuff. You're right, Jen. You're right, Jen. She's the great pilot. Absolutely.
That scene in the Millennium Falcon when they steal it for the first time and outrun the TIE fighters. We just watched it again recently, and I was like, that's the best flight scene ever.
Absolutely.
It's so good.
She is a fabulous pilot. She's instinctive, just like her grandfather when he was, flying the pod races. And what does she do? She takes the Millennium Falcon.
We're making a judgment there.
A ship she's never really flown before, and she takes it through some sick, disgusting, wicked, cool maneuvers through every single little bit and piece of trash on that planet. And
right in the pipeline, baby.
So Sean, you're making a judgment there because you're saying that her grandfather. So you are assuming that she is a Skywalker.
I would say that she's a Skywalker in that. Wow, maybe I'm not. I guess I kind of assumed that she was a Skywalker. A Solo, definitely.
Well, she's a Solo. She's a Skywalker.
So
and she's a Solo, and then she's a Skywalker.
Spoiler alert. This is where the canon versus extended universe comes back in.
Mute button.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, and I had the question from the last episode that you guys did. Is it part of canon or extended universe that Han and Leia have twins?
Yes, have some.
Yes.
Yes, have some.
That's part of the extended universe.
Yeah, that's EU. Yeah.
And I enjoy the extended universe a lot. And even in part of the extended universe, Luke has his own son, who turns out to be Ben, which is Ben Kylo Ren, or is Ben actually Han and Leia's daughter or son? Excuse me.
Yeah, they could have flipped it off.
It's a toss-up in that section for me. I'm not sure which it is.
Well, getting back to Rey, I think that she is also an amazing character because she is such a survivor. Like, from the beginning, we know that she has been on her own, and there hasn't been another character like that
at all
who's been completely on her own.
Nope, not on their own. Absolutely, nope.
but I have to get home.
They've all every
Everything's
single
self-taught.
character that you've seen in the Star Wars universe, whether it's the canon versus the extended universe, they've all had some kind of support system. Rey's the first one who's been entirely on her own from the beginning and has had to rely on her own her own instincts, her own
Intuitions.
survivability
Yeah.
has been her own intuitions. Yes, so she's
then-
been that one character that's.
And then
it's
the
all
other
about
piece of her is that she's an amazingly hopeful person. I mean, she
Yes.
really believed that that people were coming back for her.
Her parents were coming back.
They're never coming back.
And I think that's how we set up this amazingly. I know there's some talk about whether or not she's going to go to the dark side. I really don't think so.
I don't
and I
see
think
that.
part of it is that she has that amazing, positive, hopeful piece to her.
I think that the difference between the dark side and the light side is that little bit of hope that things are going to turn out better than where they are right now. And I think that if you are that light-sided person, you're hopeful. You want to have that degree of, yes, I want to see the better side of humanity, or wherever you happen to be in the universe. The dark side would kind of be, I'm not exactly sure how things are going to turn out. I think it's going to really kind of end up in the trash bin or the trash compactor.
Cue the trash compactor scene.
True, the trash compactor saying, here we go.
And let's just not forget, she has insane power. Force
That she doesn't even know.
Untrained.
Yeah, she doesn't even know about it. You know, she
Kylo
really
scared
doesn't.
of her.
Well, at the end of that movie, too, she picks up the lightsaber and she just kind of looks at Kylo Ren and says, you know what, dude? Bring it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Without any real training, without any
No
kind of
fear.
real... No fear, actually.
No fear,
And, yeah,
which is huge, right? So
absolutely
like
huge.
You could say.
the scene where she's locked up and in the torture, he's interrogating her, Kylo's interrogating her, and she's like, I'm gonna try this force thing, I'm gonna get the stormtrooper or whatever they're called in this movie to release me, and she does. She figures it out within just with
one
the
try.
will.
A few moments, yeah.
two
just
two
a sec-
tries, but
She realized she had to be calm to say it the second time, otherwise, it wasn't gonna work.
I got to
you know.
take a moment to point out, Jason, nice lens flare you got going on there. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
whatever's
I'm gonna-
going on in the
I'm gonna have
back, you're,
I'm gonna
getting
spice that up
blinded.
for you a little bit in post here. It's pretty good. Sorry.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway,
Thanks, man.
that
Thanks.
wasn't intentional.
So, actually, I think a
No,
shift
I-
to Jason's right will get rid of that lens flare.
It's just a light, man.
Yeah, it's bouncing off that wall behind you, dude.
You like? Oh yeah. Well, no, the wall. I don't know what kind of wall is it. It's not. No, it's
Look at your right-
It's a certain.
your right
I know.
shoulder.
It's right
That's
here.
your
Yeah.
left.
It's a
Yeah, that
certain
one right there.
It's
There
a
we go.
certain material. And there's Star Wars posters up there.
we saw that. That's pretty
See?
awesome.
There you go. Damn right. Right now, you can edit the awesome Captain Awesome right above my head, right there on the
Right
light.
there. Just,
I do want to point out though, at the very end though, like we say, like she's no fear. She grabs the lightsaber and all out on Kylo Ren. You think a little bit of that could have been anger, and we all know what anger leads to.
anger leads to, the dark side eventually.
We're not even gonna,
I don't
we're not even
that's-
gonna go down that road.
it's-
I don't think
She doesn't know how to
with
control her.
her.
She doesn't know how to control her. She doesn't know how to control her feelings though, so she has no idea about the dark side. That's the thing about it. So she
Yep.
doesn't know what she's using. She's using anger in a different way. It's
all just
She has
raw
no,
emotion.
yeah, it's all raw. She has no idea like the
But
dark.
her anger, does her anger come from fear? And I mean, when you follow the whole Yoda, it starts with fear. I don't think she's afraid.
No, because she wants to hurt
She's
him.
determined.
And she because of what he did to Han Solo too.
Yeah.
I think that's why she's that mad
Doing
because of
it.
how
And-
much he
and
meant to her.
Finn, I think.
And Finn,
Finn as well.
So that,
she's
that's a
doing
different
it for
kind of
protection.
anger.
She's doing it for determination. She is determined to walk away from this. She may not be in 100% health, but she is absolutely going to walk away from this. And I'm determined to walk away with all four of my limbs.
She reminds me a little bit of Ahsoka in that sense of when we're gonna get she's on the list too. We're gonna get to her, but that same I don't really care about light side, dark side. Like, this needs to be done. That these people are like hurting people, and I need to stop them. I'm not gonna sit on the sidelines while you guys argue about is it right or wrong to be involved. Like, they need to be stopped. I'm capable of doing it, and I'm gonna do it, and no one's gonna stop me. And they seem the characters seem a little similar in that sense, and I think that's kind of cool.
There's a
I
definite
think that's how
determination.
that a lot of the women in Star Wars are. They're like, let's get it done.
Get to business.
All
That's
right.
exactly. Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
We're gonna move on. The next one down the list. We don't know a whole lot about her yet. We'll be finding out in a couple weeks. Jyn Erso.
I've
Well,
got nothing
again-
on this one.
Again, she is a woman that we go to get out of a fix, out of a mess, right? So a strong woman, crafty, who comes in to
Where'd you get it?
I found it.
get the plans to the Death Star. And I think it's interesting what they're doing, or how women have been woven into these stories, because they really do come in as, savior is too strong a word, but you know what I'm saying. Heroes
They're equals, if not a little more.
to really undo problems and again get things done. And so from what we see in the trailers, she's that same type of mentality, like,
We're going to Jeddah.
we have to do it, what are we going to do, how do we get it done?
Yeah.
And-
And she wants to save her dad. I mean, that has a lot to do with it too, because it is her dad who is building the ultimate super weapon. So not only does she want to get the plans, but she wants to save her
We
father
need to find him.
as well, so that she has extra motivation to get this job done, and whatever it takes to try to motivate people. What it obviously looks like she is doing. But I mean, I think that's a huge part of the story too. It's her father. They picked her because they know that is her father, and they feel like she can do it. They know she's. I like her line is,
I rebel.
"I'm a rebel. We don't rebels rebel." I mean, I think that's an awesome line in a
That is a
trailer
good
right
line.
there. I think that was a great line, and you can just see it. She wants to get something done because she wants two things to happen, which is pretty cool. She doesn't have just one goal. She's got a couple things going on, which makes the character very interesting.
Let's not forget, from the little bit we've seen in the trailers, her ability to inspire. Not only, kick butt, but, she's got this, seemingly ragtag group of
Rebellions are
people
built
who,
on hope.
under normal circumstances, should be absolutely terrified of what's being asked of them. They've got to be thinking, like, we're going to die, but
And they are.
And
Some are,
she's
yeah.
talking them into it. Like, yeah, we're probably going to die, but let's see how much we can accomplish in the process of dying, and brought out the best in all of these people, and that's not an easy thing to do. Keeping a group of people together. So it's not just taking that call to action, but leadership and yeah.
It also brings into mind, like, that a secondary thread with the women in Star Wars, I think, which is sacrifice. They, like, from the very beginning, the women throughout the story sacrifice something large for the greater good.
Oh, crap.
I forgot to mention our other special guest on the show.
The fifth element of this whole deal is my dog. Yes, Willie.
Lou Dallas
His full
Willie.
name, Lord Xanthar Wellington, Destroyer of Worlds.
Oh, Willie.
All right.
All right, Bubba.
We'll move down the list. Next we have